Hello everyone. So we're going to introduce logs very quickly. Let's have a look at first of all what a log is. So if I go 2 to the power of 3 equals 8, we understand that that's an indice rule. Okay, power of 3, 2 times it, or base 2, indice 3, answer. So this is grand when you have a calculator and when you know your maths. But what happens when these answers get very, very big, very, very quickly, or very, very small, very, very quickly? It gets very hard to do it. So one way to get around this is using a thing called a log. So in log form, let's see what this would look like. So you would have the log, and then the base number of your indice becomes the base number of your log. The answer for your indice sum becomes the subject of the log, and the answer to your log sum would be the power indice. So you see how they're rearranged. The 2, the 8, and the 3 are still there, but they're now telling you a different thing. In other words, they're saying 2 to the power of something gives me 8. What is that power? So that's the basic structure of a log. The rules for logs are very simple. If you get the log, I'm going to use 2 as a base, but you can use any number as your base number, okay, of 6. I can break that up into the log or I could also break it up into So you see what I'm doing? I can break the 6 up into any factors of 6 with just a plus in between them. And similarly, for division, I can do the same thing. So watch. Instead of a plus, it's a minus. So that can turn into that can turn into that can turn into that, or vice versa. And it's important you understand this works in both ways. So this is a both way situation, okay? Or in chemistry, we used to use a half arrow system like that to show it goes both, it's equal but goes both ways, okay? Now, this is probably one of the more important ones you'll use. When there's a power on the subject of the log, you can turn that into, put the power on front, and it becomes a multiplication of the same log. Now that's important because it allows you to remove powers or remove logs, separate them from each other a lot easier. So please remember that one. The next one you're going to have to remember is this one, and this is one that could be crucial to you. Any base log where the subject is the same number will always be 1. In other words, 2 to the power of what number gives me 2? Because remember, that's the structure of our logs. That's the answer to some power of 2. This is some power of 2. Okay? The next one, and this is the one that they seem to love nowadays. I can convert this into any other base log. So I'm going to pick a number out of my head. I'm going to pick 7. So to turn base 2 logs into base 7 logs using this, I just create a fraction in base 7. Now watch carefully, watch carefully. I take the subject on top and I take the base on bottom. So this is the same as that, but I've created 2 new base numbers, and that's important because it might allow you to convert multiple different ones, and I'm going to show you in a second, into the same. So I'm going to do a few of these rules now for you to see how you get on. Okay, so I'm going to add this 2 log to the base 10 of 3 plus log to the base 10 of 6 minus 2 log to the base 10 of 6 over 5. Now what I notice first of all is they're all the same base numbers. That makes it easy. So let's see what I can do. What did that used to be? That 2 used to be up there using the rule. If there's a multiplication in front of a log, it used to be a power. So that's log to the base 10 of 3 squared. Okay? Sorry, that's 16. Okay? Nothing's changed there. Let's leave him. Now, let's see what happened here with this one. So, that 2 used to be a power. So, let's do that then. That's log to the base 10 of 6 over 5 squared. Okay? So, I see a plus between them. So, that used to be a multiplication. So, that's log to the base 10 of 3 squared times 16 minus log to the base 10 of, well, we can square this out, 36 over 25. Okay? Now, this used to be a division. I'm going to do this on the calculator for myself. That's 9 times 16, which is 144 over 36 over 25. Now, let's try and work out what this is, because it might be something nice. Log 144 divided by a fraction 36 over 25, it's 100. So that's log to the base 10 of 100. And now what's the answer? What power of 10 will give me 100? 2. So that's how you do it, using different log rules. Now, let's have a look at a tougher one. Let's have a look at 2 log to the base 3 of x minus log to the base 3 of 18 minus x equals 1. So let's solve this, okay? Because I see there's a missing x. So let's see what this used to be. There's a 2 in front, so that must have been x squared minus log to the base 3 of 18 minus x, and that's equal to 1. Now, there's a minus between these. That used to be a division. So that's log to the base 3 of x squared over 18 minus x is equal to 1. Okay? Now, let's try and figure out what this used to be. Okay, because that's a 1. So I can't really do anything here without doing something else. So I need to convert this into a log. So log to the base 3 of x squared over 18 minus x. Let's try and think what that used to be. Now, if you remember, we have rules. I hope they're on the previous page. No, they're not. So if you remember, what's the rule? What log gives you a 1? And of course, it's log to the base 3 of 3 will give you 1. And now I have both these things in base 3, which means that that can cancel with that, and which means that x squared over 18 minus x must be 3. And now I can solve this. Okay, let's try and solve it. Let's multiply both sides by 18 minus x. So you have x squared plus 3x minus 54 equals 0. So you can use a minus b, or let's see what we can do here. Okay, so x and x, 9 and 6, 6 nines are 54. And we're going to get a plus and a minus. So x is 6 or x is minus 9. Now, if I put minus 9 in, let's see what happens, because it's the only way we're going to figure this out. So that's 2 times the log to the base 3 of minus 9 minus log to the base 3 of 18 minus 9, and I get an error. So that can't be right. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to change that to +6. And I get 1. So that's right. Always check. Always check. Okay, so that's your basic kind of logs. We'll do some more advanced one in the next video.